Hello, in front of me I have HONOR X7d, and in this video I'm going to show the security tricks on this device. Alright, let's begin with setting up the screen lock, because you know that's like the key level of our security. So to do it we need to open up the settings. Now in here scroll down a little until you find biometrics and password. We can begin with that. And now let's click on lock screen password first. And in here we can set a 6-digit pin, or we can select other method. Simply click on the button, and we can also set 4-digit pin, custom pin, pattern, or password. Everything is up to you. You can pick the method that you want. In my case, I like the pattern, so I'll select that one. As you take a look, we have those 9 dots on the screen, and to create a pattern we need to connect at least 4 of them. So in my case, I'll create a password. If you want to try again, you can always click on redraw and then draw a new pattern. Now if you want to confirm your pattern, you need to simply draw it once again and click on that. Alright, now our screen lock has been set, and now the phone wants us to also add a fingerprint. I highly recommend doing that because it's an extra security feature. Click on add, and now the sensor is located on our power button right in here. Now we need to swipe left and right to save it. So we just need to move our finger on our power button and wait until this sensor in the middle is fulfilled. Alright, enrollment successful. You can also rename your fingerprint if you want. To save it, click on OK. And now the phone also wants us to add a face recognition. It's also a pretty cool thing, but you need to be aware that, in my personal opinion, it's a little bit less safe than the fingerprint, for example, because there is always a small chance that someone will want to unlock your device using, for example, a photo of yours. There is a small chance that the phone will recognize it as your true face and it gets unlocked. So if you want to set it, don't worry, you can do it. Just click on setup, then the camera will appear, and all you need to do is to simply place your face inside of the frame and your face will be saved. Alright, now we can also in here select use finger ID to unlock device. Let's keep it that way. We can also enable the save and app lock. I'll show you that features later. We can enable that. Actually, I'll click it again, so I'll show you also the save and the app lock. Now let's try how our screen lock works. Let's begin with the pattern first. So as I slide to the upside, those 9 dots appear. Now simply draw your pattern, boom, the phone gets unlocked. Really easy thing, works just fine. Now let's try with the fingerprint. Let's turn off the device and let's hold on our sensor, and as you take a look, it also has been unlocked. Works really nice. Alright, now let's open up the settings. Let's go straight from biometrics and password into security and privacy. And now let's scroll down a little and let's begin with the app security. Now click on Google Play Protect. In here basically you can perform a scan to see do you have some potential threats in your apps that you have installed on your device. And now we just need to simply wait a little bit. Alright, in my case no harmful apps found. Last scan was 22 minutes ago. We can also manually click on scan to see is everything fine. Alright, no harmful apps found. It's always good to check from time to time, is everything okay. Alright, we can go back. Now let's go straight into the device unlock. I have shown you everything except the theft protection. It is also really a useful thing. In here we have the theft detection lock and the offline device lock. Theft detection lock works in that way that when you turn it on, you can also read about it right in here. Someone abruptly takes your device and then speeds away, your screen locks. If your device isn't stolen, just unlock as usual, like with your PIN or password. You can also, it works in that way that, thieves often, take our phone and then they run away. And that's the moment when our device will be locked. Pretty cool thing. Same thing with the offline device lock. You can read about it, of course, right in here. Thieves often turn off internet service immediately so that no one can track the device that they have stolen. So it's also really worth enabling, in my opinion. Below we have also the remote lock. also really useful thing. When this feature is enabled, remember that you need to have your SIM card inserted or eSIM activated if you want to use it. When remote lock is on, you can lock your screen remotely if your device is lost or stolen. How it works: on any device, go to android.com/lock, enter your device phone number to lock its screen. No sign-in or Google account needed. Really useful feature. Alright. Similar thing with find and erase your device. Let's make sure that it's enabled. Also, we need to turn on the location if you want to use it. Select that you want to use. Alright, now we can go back. And we have two ways to use the Find app. We can use the app, we can get it on the Google Play app, or we can use the web. Basically, it works in that way that also, if our device gets stolen or lost, we can track it and find out where it is. When you open up the web, for example, in here we have a really important thing. We need to sign in into the same Google account on which we are logged in on our stolen device. If you don't know into which Google account you are logged in, let me show you where to find it, because it might be useful if you want to use that feature. Go into the settings, scroll down, click on the Google, and in here you can see into which Google account you are currently logged into. And if you would like to use the Find app and find your device, you'll need to log in into the same Google account. And in the Find app itself, you can remotely lock your device, lock the screen, or even perform a factory reset. Also really useful. Okay, so let's get back into security and privacy. Device unlock, theft protection. And what I always like to do also is to create a backup of the data. We have a few ways how to do it. Let me show you one of them. Let's go back. I like the Google backup. To do it, go into settings. We can skip a little. Let's click on the search bar. Let's type backup. Click on backup and restore. And we have the Google backup right in here. We have our Google account. You need to remember it, because if you would like to restore the backup, you will need to be logged into the same Google account on which you made it. Really useful and really important. Make sure that backup to Google is on. And now we can go back. Now click on Google account. Make sure that you also have some free storage space in your Google One. Then click on photos and videos. Enable it right in here. Go into add device data and also enable it. And you just need to make sure that you have some free storage space. In my case, I would have to clean something up to do it, so I won't click it, but now all you need to do is to simply click on backup now. Then in here, in the place of this cloud, a small circle will appear and it's going to slowly fulfill. And when it disappears, it means that your backup has been successfully made. You should also see an information, I think, below other device data, how long ago your backup was made. Really useful thing, having a backup. Alright, let's get back into security and privacy. Now let's scroll down, and now the account security. Let's click on Google Security Checkup to see is everything fine with our Google account. Alright, in my case everything is fine. It's always good to see is everything okay. If something will be wrong, simply follow the instruction on the screen to solve the problem. It is really easy and I'm sure that you can handle it. Now let's go into password checkup. In here we can see do we have some compromised passwords, are our passwords unique, and our passwords are strong. In my case everything is fine except that I have one weak password, and as you take a look, this app told us that we should do something about it. In my case the password is in the Facebook. It's like a suggestion to us that we should change it to simply protect our data. I think that I don't need to tell you that you should, keep your password strong and unique. You shouldn't be using passwords such as like ABCD 12345 QWERTY or similar things that I have just said, because it's really easy to break that password. So you can check it right in here. Useful thing. I have shown the device finders. Now let's click on System and Updates, and let's click on Security Update first. It's always good to have the latest version of your software. In my case, I'm using the latest version, so I don't need to download anything. If you have a possibility to download and update, simply do it. You can also manually click on Check for Updates if you want. Just like that. Alright, now let's go into Google Play System Update. And in my case, as you take a look, I can download and install the latest update. I won't do it right now because I want to show you other things, but if you have that possibility, you should do this ASAP. Alright, actually, in here you can also create a backup if you want. Instead of going to the settings and then typing backup manually, you can find it right in here if you want. Alright, now let's go down and let's click on Other Settings, Device and Data Protection, and in here we have that safe and the app lock that I was showing you before. So let's begin with the safe, a really useful thing. In the safe we can, keep our things more private, and the only way to get access into the safe is by typing the password or by using the fingerprint. We can click on Enable to create our safe. Now select the phone, and now we need to create a password. Password should be between 6 to 16 characters long, consist of English letters and numbers, and contain at least one English letter. So you should keep your password strong. For now, I'll type really easy password just to show you how to create it. Then click on Next. In here we have the security question. In here we have a list of suggested questions. If you want, you can always set a custom one. Then type the answer. And then click on Done to save it. We can also link our fingerprint. Useful thing. You can see that the fingerprint has been linked. And in here you can add the images, audio files, videos, and other files into your safe to keep them more private. You can always click on Add, and in here from your gallery and your storage, you can add anything that you want. Useful thing. We also have the settings right in here. If you want, you can change the password, change the security question. You can also switch the safe and create a new one. We have the safe location. And if you want, you can destroy the safe down below. And now to get access into it, because I don't think that it had appeared right in here anywhere. You just need to give me a second, because I just need to now find where is our safe. But I think that the only way to get access to it is maybe through the system manager. But I think that actually each time we need to go through the settings and all the way right in here to find our safe. I think that's the only way. Another thing is the app lock, also a useful thing. Thanks to that we can lock our apps with the password. We can use the lock screen password or set a custom pin. Currently I'll use the one that I have on my lock screen. We can also again link our fingerprint, and in here we have a list of apps that we can enable to use our password. So let's say I'll select the YouTube, and now it's locked with the password. So if someone will want to watch some YouTube on our device without our permission, he launches the app, and boom, the only way to open it is by typing the password or by placing your fingerprint, and only then the YouTube will work. Really useful thing. I highly recommend trying it on your own. When it comes to password and passkey, in here we have the password vault. Okay. Password vault saves and autofills your usernames and passwords which are saved on your device by default. Turning on data sync can ensure the usernames and passwords on this device are up to date. Honor cannot access your passwords. If you want, you can keep it enabled. Everything is up to you. Alright, we also have the hidden apps. We can click on try now. Now we need to set up password for hidden apps. Before enabling hidden apps, set a 6-digit password to enhance the privacy and security of apps. Of course, you can also use your screen lock passcode as a password. It's up to you. We can also associate our fingerprint. And now to add a new apps right in here, simply click on add and now select the apps that you want to hid. So let's try to, for example, hid the Facebook. Now it's hidden, it's only in here. If you want, you can add the hidden apps to the home screen. Tap a home screen icon and verify your password to access hidden apps. It's up to you. If you go into the settings, you can enable the fingerprint ID, also the face recognition, add those hidden apps to home screen, and change the password type. I think that in here, you can also see that the Facebook disappeared. I think that enabling that hidden apps on the home screen is a useful thing, so I will turn it on because it's a little bit annoying to each time, you know, go right in here, then in here, and then accessing the hidden apps. Let's open it up. Let's click on the settings and let's click add hidden apps. Okay, let's click on OK. And now we have simply a shortcut that appeared right in here. If someone wants to open it up, he'll have to type the password or use the fingerprint of ours. Alright, that's all when it comes to the things in the settings. Now let's open up the system manager. And in here, let's perform a virus scan. Alright, our device is secure. It's always good to see from time to time, is everything okay in search of potential threats. If you want, of course, from the Play Store, you can download some third-party antiviruses apps if you are interested. But remember that before downloading anything, it's always good to see the reviews about each antivirus. But I think that this one that it's defaultly installed is pretty okay. But if you want, you can download more. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.